Greetings. Let's explore the KSuse sender interface and do some basic setup. Now we see a freshly installed KSuse sender on the screen. Let's move on to the settings. These are the main settings. Here we can change the interface language, choose a theme, light or dark, and also on which screen we will display the interface of our program. The time filter affects which files will be displayed in the gallery. There are two filters. This is the starting time of the gallery and the number of hours that have passed since the date the file was created. That is, files that were created or modified earlier than those specified in these filters will not be displayed. We can type email domains here, which will show up as autocomplete suggestions when people start typing their address. Web tab. Here we see links to our gallery, as well as settings such as gallery versions, field type, and so on. More details about all the settings can be found in the instructions. Paths. Here we need to select a hot folder from which we will get our files. Let me choose a folder. After I change the paths, I definitely need to save the settings. In general, in principle, if you change something in the settings, then you need to save them. We have added our hot folder and our files have already started to be read. Now I'll go to the gallery and take a look. Yes, here is our file. Now let's set up email sending. Go to the Sending tab. In principle, you can disable sending. That is, if I turn off sending, the button for sending to email will not be displayed. First of all, I have to type the settings of my mailbox. After I have typed the mailbox settings, I also save the settings in the same way. You can check if everything is entered correctly. Yes, okay. Each mail server has its own characteristics. For example, in order for us to send emails through Gmail, I need to go to my Gmail account settings and allow less secure applications there. Next we move on to templates. We must have at least one template created. Well, it must be selected as used for sending from sender. Here, in the same way, I type the subject of the message and the text of the message. Moreover, I enter the text of the message both in the form of plain text and in the form of HTML. Even if I only want to send the HTML version of the email, I still need to type the plain text. The fact is that the mail program itself decides which email to display HTML or plain. And if suddenly there is no regular version in your email, then in some mail programs there will be an empty email. Unfortunately, this cannot be influenced in any way. We can add the HTML code here without modification and save it. It will be sent as is. And also we can switch to the visual editor mode and edit our text. The disadvantage of the visual editor is that it corrects the HTML code. That is, if there are any styles in your code, some non-standard formatting, then it is better not to switch the visual editor, because it will most likely mangle your HTML. Actually, we have already made all the settings. I go to the gallery. I choose a video and try to send it to myself. I go to Sending to Database. I see the status of my email. The email was successfully sent. In the Sending tab there is a SMS tab. In fact, this is not sending messages, this is just an entry into the database of phone numbers. I will not consider the Print Settings Presets Browser tabs in this video, since this functionality already applies to the Pro version. In the free version, this works in demo mode. Let's now see what the gallery looks like on the web page. Actually, here it is our gallery. Here, too, I can choose to send to email and enter my address. This gallery can be switched to full screen mode. On a Windows computer, this is done by pressing F11. Also, this gallery is compatible with the iPad, that is, there you can also put the gallery in full screen mode. This is done by creating a shortcut on the desktop. Thank you for your attention.